a lot worse, to be fair. It could have been a lot worse for Cockroach. Well, no, actually, I don't think it would. I mean, you have to consider the superhuman strength, like, dominates a lot of things that might seem brutal, like, I don't know, a rolling pin to the legs, a golf club to the head, everything. They do not compare to Luke's strength, so, yeah, I think he got it worse. I mean, the good thing is, for what we saw in episode 2, is he was left for dead, so he still got a chance to, reconsider his options, I guess, and his life, rather than, abusing his wife and child, but damn it, Luke. Hello everyone, it's Liam Catterson here with episode number 3, season 2 for Luke Cage. I'm really, really excited to continue this, because the first 2 episodes have been pretty neat, and it was left on a bit of a really interesting note last time out, especially with the fact that, like I've just mentioned, of course, with Cockroach being left for dead, Luke brutally beating him senseless. I mean, it was a traumatizing experience for the wife and the child, of course, which is a bit of a shit, of course, considering the fact that the child did look up to Luke as a hero, and he sees this, and there's this uncontrollable rage, and it's scary. So there's going to be some interesting things moving on from the ending of last episode, especially with the fact that, Luke has a popular status about him, but that might be brought into question now, so it's going to be very interesting to see where things go, especially with Bushmaster as well, considering the fact that we got a bit more of him, and he visited Mariah's daughter, which could turn ugly real fast, of course, considering the, this kind of fixation he currently has on bringing Mariah down, as he mentioned a few times in the few scenes that we've seen him, so everything's just looking really solid, and like I said, the last 2 episodes have been pretty neat, a great start for season 2, so hopefully that can continue with this episode. It's episode 3 of Luke Cage season 2. Let's go.
You alright?
I mean, they are.
CJ and his mother.
But
so I stopped him.
Cockroach isn't. Uh-oh.
You call this stopping him?
I was going to say, I'm going to expect some really great discussions between Claire and Luke after this. Luke.
Upon Mariah. Her people then.
Because she's the easiest to target, Mariah. Luke is, the obstacle.
So I'll give it to her. You're mad. Why? I want her nice and fat when I kill her. The little bird is still there? All in paradise? Good. Soon we know everything. Mariah must burn.
He's got a really, dedicated connection to Mariah, hasn't he?
Leave the scene of a crime.
No, so Luke Cage is a perp now.
This is our case, not yours.
It's funny how you seem to be trailing behind me on your investigation.
Sort her out. Sort Nandi out. She deserves it. Nandi, listen, Misty could wipe the floor with your ass. Ooh. Oh, okay. That's great.
Nigel had a big head, a big mouth, and small ideas.
Oh, so that's... Oh, damn.
I had no vision.
And he's just compromised the last, I guess, hope to sell...
This gun do. I need you to convince me of this thing, yeah?
Oh.
Glad you called. Danny said,
Colleen!
he's been
Yay!
trying to reach you and you won't pick up.
I told the barefoot billionaire the same thing I told Luke and everybody else.
I don't need his charity.
You at least talking to someone?
No, but...
I'm talking to you right now.
He's got to at least invest in the arm. The arm.
When Bakuto attacked me, what did you do? You jumped in. You're selfless.
Talking about that sacrifice
admire
earlier
that.
today.
So never pity. Ever.
Just love how Colleen's, like, she's trying to find a way to resonate with her, like, try to give her some hope, give her some light at the end of the tunnel. Misty's beating herself down so much.
Because I don't know how.
Now this is where scripture
She's
comes
feeling...
in.
You're not losing him.
In the heart of man is like deep waters, but the man with understanding will draw it out. Get it? It's like saying you can't save someone from drowning unless you have on your life jacket. Or you make enough room on the door for both of you to float.
Yes, Rose.
Titanic?
Yes.
That always bothered me.
Yes. Yes.
Rose had plenty.
Harlem is not your birthright. It's mine, brethren.
Harlem is under my protection now.
Tell him.
Possession is not.
What are you doing to protect Harlem?
Stay out of my yard.
You wanna talk about the yard with the yardie? Come.
Oh, shit. Just look at this. This is the first confrontation and it's just really, really neat. Uh-oh. Shit. He's just recording this. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's gonna get dented, isn't it? Not gonna happen. Oh, shit. The thing is, Bushmaster seems so eager to let his numbers become diminished, it seems. Boom. May as well just eat that like a cartoon or something. No, wouldn't that destroy the... I don't know. Not even a scratch. I'm sure Bushmaster's just testing him. He's not even, like, worried. What a selfish... Go on, Colleen, sort him. Or is Colleen just gonna watch? Get up and fight. Go on, Misty. Go on, Misty. Go on. I just love how Colleen's just watching like, yeah. That's it. Oh shit. Oh. Awesome stuff, Misty. Hug it out. Hug it out. Oh.
Let's go.
That was incredible though. Misty just...
Put it on his tab.
Yeah. I think he deserves it. That was incredible though, Misty just showing how much of a badass she is, even with one arm. It was for training purposes, okay. I had a feeling like he was testing him in some capacity.
Because I want my cheese. Sell it. Vote for the merger.
That's the thing, she's not gonna stop.
If you don't, these pictures will go everywhere.
Bribe. Nice. Nice.
Media takeout. I'm talking.
But it just goes to show her how much of a bitch she is. Wow.
It's not that simple. You don't need to feed your anger to prove a point.
I'm a man. Okay? Full-fledged. My anger is real.
Shit.
But if I can use that anger for intimidation
he's
to do work, then so be it. If I have to speak the language of those
put
who would
his
do all the harm
masculinity
to
up
make
there,
them
I
stop,
feel.
then so be it.
But that's not you. Yeah, you can use anger as a tool.
But it doesn't need to go as far as...
When you use it as a crutch.
You don't get to pick and choose the parts of me that you like and dislike, baby. If you're down with me, you have to be down with all of me.
I am so
Oh
down.
shit, what the hell?
But what?
Come on, Luke.
Between you and Pop always on me about stepping out of the shadows.
But I think Claire
Y'all
had a
see
point
that's
earlier
your
when she could have
problem right
clocked
there.
him.
You won't take responsibility.
I am taking responsibility by taking over, by shutting things
No,
down one
Luke,
by one.
come on.
No, you're running. You're blaming me.
I mean, look at the kid, he
You're
didn't
blaming
see
your
a
father.
hero.
You can't use him as an excuse to feel your anger anymore. You know, if he were to see what you did this morning and your justifications, he'd be ashamed of you. You've become the ogre.
Enough!
He's got issues.
No, this isn't the time to talk now.
Kind of messed up there, Luke.
See,
But the thing is, I mean, they've
that hole
both
you
got
just put on my
their...
wall,
Could have been her.
that was my childhood. That was my mother and my father. And, I said I would never
Be in that
put myself through
scenario.
that again. I would never live with anger again. So,
She doesn't want... Yeah, she's not living with that. I mean, Luke might be a nice guy overall, but there's moments he can snap.
No. I would never hurt you.
But your anger can't say that.
And I'm sorry.
Just loving that scene though. I mean, it was... There was red flags being waved there when Luke punched the hole in the wall. I mean, it might have been a bit shitty for Claire to comfort, like try to put this pressure on her father, but Luke could have easily avoided that without putting a hole in the wall. And in some capacities that I can relate. Whoa! What the sh... Oh boy. Here we go.
It's mine.
Interesting. That punch caught me off guard. So yeah, that was a really, really great episode. That punch did caught me off guard. I thought we were going to end on that melancholic ending with Claire and Luke. But, you know, Bushmaster just coming out of nowhere. To be fair, I had a kind of feeling, but I also was conflicted with a bit because I was thinking, okay, well, Luke's not in the right mind, you know, to focus, so he could have been caught off guard by any punch, of course. But, yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see, you know, that develop. Bushmaster and Luke having their first confrontation. And it was a bit of a mistake on Luke's behalf. Well, then again, he wasn't to know, of course, because, one of Bushmaster's men, you know, he had the fight that, Bushmaster using a very smart tactic, putting his, you know, guys, in the fight against Luke to try and, you know, to record everything so he can prepare to face Luke and prepare to take him down. So, it was a really, really smart method. And I had a feeling earlier on that, he was being tested, of course, considering the fact that there was no, like, reaction given to Bushmaster. It was like, this was to be expected, and he knows about Luke. Like, he has his eyes on Luke anyways, and, you know, I doubt he's, you know, one of these people who's unaware about Luke and how strong he is and how nothing can put him down. So, he's gonna use everything to, you know, test him out. And like I said, it's not like he's going to be completely ignorant to Luke's capability, so, it's more of a test, really. You know, the guns and all that, the bombs. I mean, I'm sure he caught wind of the whole explosion back in the first episode, of course, so, you know, one grenade isn't going to do jack if, like, a big, massive explosion couldn't. So it was a great little test, and of course, you know, that was backed up with the footage, of course, so he could just, you know, just practice the moves, of course, and then, you know, try and, be, I guess, ahead of Luke, especially with the stuff that he keeps inhaling, of course. You know, it kind of reminds me of, I don't know, for some reason, you know, I do get this Black Panther vibe, of course, with, you know, the stuff, you inhale, of course, to give you that extra bit of, spice, especially if you're, going into combat like Bushmaster is and, have that ability to take down Luke, so. But no, it was just really, really awesome, and I'm loving Bushmaster even further. I do think he's a fascinating character at this point. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see how episode 4 does pick off from, Luke just being brought down by Bushmaster, so, yeah. But, yeah, he's a very fascinating character, of course, recording his, adversaries' movements, getting ahead of the game, of course, with the whole Mariah deal, of course. He made that deal with Shades, but of course his real intention is to off Mariah, so that's going to go down a treat. And I think he killed Nigel, didn't he? Like as a way to, I guess, kind of get in bed with Mariah to take out the competition and, lock out that deal so he can get closer to Mariah and then, like I said, off her. So, yeah, I'm really, really interested to see how, this does progress with Bushmaster, because he does seem like a fascinating character at the minute. But yeah, I want to get talking as well about that scene as well, because that really, was quite powerful. That second to last scene between Claire and Luke, and I do feel like the acting was tremendous. I think Mike and Rosario, I think it is. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, I don't really, click too much with relationship dramas because, especially but then again, Marvel does really, really great with their relationships anyways. Look at Fitzsimmons, for example. Favourite ship of all time. No, but, usually, I guess it's because, DC shows would be on every week and you see some kind of shitty, drama that, gives you a migraine or whatever. But, I don't really dig relationship dramas, but I think this was really, really, powerful. Granted, there's still flaws on, your preferred side, which would be Claire. I think any case would be Claire, considering the fact that, Luke had, put that hole in the wall and, that's ringing out major red flags anyway, so, I mean, like I said, Luke's a nice guy and all, but, if you're doing that, it's gonna ring red flags, and you just gotta think, well, that could have been Claire. But, like I said, Claire had her, flaws as well. But then again, what I'm saying for this part is, the whole confrontation with the father. I thought it was a really, really great scene anyways, but, that confrontation with the father, Luke doesn't want anything to do with his own father. He hates the idea that he's talking about him, and, he feels pained, telling Claire this. So, for Claire to confront him earlier on in this episode, and for, Luke to hear all of that, not just that, but, Claire wanting Luke to open up more about, his own father, is going to aggravate him. But, like I said, there is a reason this could have been all avoided on Luke's behalf. And I guess, well, I don't know, because in some degree you want to say, well, Claire maybe shouldn't put this on, but, Luke could have, I don't know, Luke could come out and say, it's just too painful for me to divulge and all that. I mean, I think it would be I don't know, I think I mean, she knows there's a bit of beef going on, but, I have that with family members as well. There are people, well, blood relatives, I call them that, okay? Because there's a difference in my books between blood relatives and family, so, but, yeah, I have, blood relatives who I don't want to talk about, and, it's just painful for me. If someone close to me wanted, to, dig in further, I would just say it's just too painful for me to talk about, because it is, and I don't want to, ruin that moment I have with the person who I admire, of course. So, And there is also that sense of masculinity as well. Like, Luke has mentioned, like, it a few times in that discussion with Claire, that he doesn't want his masculinity to be broken. So, like I said, Claire could have, you know, I don't know, maybe cooled off on the whole reconciliation with the whole father thing, and, you know, let the Lucases sort it out. But at the same time, I think Luke should just come up with the whole fact that it's just too painful for him to embrace. So, but yeah, all the same, you know, I think at the end of the day, this should be Luke's decision as well. But, you know, Luke should also just, you know, push the fact that it's just too painful for him to, you know, talk about, and, like, let's just move on, rather than, you know, letting this aggression build up inside him and then put a hole in the wall. Because, like I said, that's red flags all over, and it was for Claire, considering the fact that her parents, you know, were in the same situation, and Claire had that, you know, promise that she wouldn't be in that situation again. So, yeah, even I got appalled there, but it was a really, really brilliant scene. Like I said, the acting was amazing between Rosario and Mike. It was just a really, really fantastic scene, and I felt, yeah, like I said, they had their points, of course, but of course Luke giving off major red flags in the end, and I think, you know, anything that involves really, really aggressive violence, especially when you consider Luke, is, you know, over the limit, in my opinion. So, I mean, he's being all defensive and all that, which he's not taking responsibility. That's Claire's point. And at the end of the day, you've also got to think about that kid as well. Like, I'm sure he had a glance. Well, he did. He had a glance at the mother and the son, or like Cockroach, when he, at the beginning of the episode, of course, we picked up from there. And, you know, the kid was a fan. CJ, wasn't it? He was a fan of Luke, and he was traumatized seeing what he had done. So, you know, Claire's getting at that point. You're gonna, and he's gonna lose, like, there's a huge amount of popularity on his shoulders right now. And he's gonna lose that, especially if he keeps doing that. The brutality line was like, oof, because, you know, Claire had a point, to be fair, when she mentioned it earlier, and you could have just him, like, would have gone down like a bag of potatoes, I guess. But, I do hope they need this break, in my opinion, especially if you punched the hole in the wall. So, yeah, like I said, the scene with James, should I say, with Claire was really, really good. I just love the Titanic thing as well, like the biggest plot hole ever. Like, you could have made room for the boat. It was just a really, really beautiful discussion. But, I mean, Claire wants some kind of idea, so I can understand, you know, especially when she's in this bit of confusion as well, like, about what to do. She needs an idea. So, yeah, it was a great scene for, you know, us to go to, that scene with James and Claire. I also loved seeing Colleen back as well, which was awesome stuff as well, from Iron Fist and the Defenders, of course. And I just love how she's, you know, trying to boosting up Misty, of course, whose arm development story is just a really, really, it's really, really neat so far. And I'd like to think that, you know, alcohol did play a big influence to her being able to try and hold her own against those assholes. Because it can be such a rush for you, like being drunk, it can make you that bit invincible, I guess. And, you know, Misty's had enough of this shit, and, you know, instead of, you know, feeling vulnerable and, you know, letting your mind work up, your mind's basically put to the sideline when you've had a bit of alcohol in you, and, you know, you just basically go a bit reckless, I guess, and Misty did, and it was just so good to see. I just loved the high five figure as well at the end. I was like, damn it, Colleen. It was just really, really fun stuff though, and I just loved Colleen as well, just, you know, watching Misty take it on by herself, and she was just like sitting there like, okay, let's see how she does, and then she chips in, of course, further on. So it was just a really, really fun scene, and I just loved that. It was a really, really great scene. But like I said, Colleen and Misty's story in this episode was really great as well, with the whole fact that Colleen, I felt, had a really, really big influence in, you know, helping out Misty. So I really loved it. But yeah, I can't wait to see how it picks up as well, the next episode following that ending. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. But yeah, season 2 has just been really, really amazing stuff so far, and I'm just really enjoying the season so far. So it's pretty good stuff. Love the fighting. The stories early on is pretty neat, and the adversary is also an interesting character. So things are looking good for season 2, and I'm really enjoying this show. So it's really neat stuff. So I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!